Hello, cryptids.
Hello.
How
I saw
is
that
everybody?
Z son. I caught it before it moved away off my screen.
There's also a double X. Not a triple X though. I'm kind of sad, son. Why wouldn't you give us a triple X?
No triple X.
Oh my god. Anyway.
There's the triple X.
Hey, there it is.
There it is.
What is wrong with my jaw?
I don't know.
We're trying out new capture software, so please, yes.
Forgive if things are odd.
Forgive if things are odd. But there are some new redeems.
Yes.
And the prices have been increased to where they should have been. They were decreasing while Spirit was having to fuck around to make sure they worked.
Yeah.
You look like you're cheerleading a little bit over there. You're like, wow.
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 Mm-hmm.
Nuggies.
I knew I forgot to fix something.
There's also a new sound alert that someone requested. What?
I forgot to update the Nuggy Time thing.
Oh, so do I refund that one?
You can refund it if you want.
I'm refunding your Nuggy Time. You can do it again. Is sound alerts not fucking working? Sound alerts.
Oh.
What was that? What was that?
The son sent the sad face, and it was like, sad face? Okay. Oh.
Wait, send the sad face again.
Wee.
What? Oh my god, I didn't realize that we could do that.
I didn't realize you could do that either.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Nuggy. But yes, there's Nuggy, Yummy Cummies, Big Sippy, and Bloodbath.
Yes.
I don't think I'm forgetting anything.
You are not.
Oh, and then obviously the
I know.
and then another But sound alerts is like being a pain in the ass.
Yeah, sound alerts is not working great lately.
Your sound alerts browser source is offline. What the fuck do you mean offline?
Fix it,
Hold on, I'm checking to see if it's a problem on my end. Hold on. Anyway, you can talk us through the content warnings and stuff.
We are being dino rhymed. This game includes graphic depictions of violence and several troubling themes centered around abuse. The final door includes torture, murder, beheading, breaking bones, human trafficking, slavery, child abuse, emotional abuse, severed limbs, psychological manipulation, imprisonment resulting in death, suicide, the murder of sex workers, misogyny, paedophilia, and child sexual abuse.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Would you like to give a quick overhaul of what has happened so far in this chapter? Because I am trying to fix sound alerts.
We have given Sun far too much power with the me's. They are falling everywhere.
They fall from the sky.
I love it.
Okay. Let's see if it works now. Hold on. Is it going to work? Let's see, that's extension. Where's the channel playing ones? No, Sound Alert's browser source is offline. It is online. It was able to send the test alert. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
I am sorry. Sound Alerts is not working with us today. It is not working. I tried. I did my best.
You did your best. Oh, piss. Big sippy time.
I can now see the transparency that you were talking about, by the way. I couldn't see it when I was away from the screen, but I can see it now.
Just flew at me.
It was the little heart demon.
Oh.
The little heart demon flew at you. Anyway, sorry. We know that this has been a bit of a chaotic start, guys. I was trying to fix sound alerts for people because, you know, it was like, no, but it's still like, no, so...
It no work.
We're just gonna have to deal with it.
So many. So many.
I didn't realize it did that with the emojis, and I fucking love it.
I didn't realize it did that either.
Like, hold on.
It's amazing. Ow.
One second, I'm sending a message. What do you mean exceeds character limit? Fuck's sake. Hold on.
Why let you type that many then?
I had one too many.
One.
One too many.
How fucking dare.
And no, none of this fits Fata Morgana. None of it.
No. Aren't you glad that I was prepared for that to happen?
I almost knocked something over.
He almost knocked over his water cup.
Into my really nice purse that I showed you guys a while back.
Fuck's sake.
I never knew someone could lose so much weight while still eating every day. We might have to increase your portions. If there's anything in particular you want, just tell me.
I hear children's voices. From outside. I hear children's voices.
Ah, the kids here to see the Saintess. It has gotten quite noisy out there as of late, yes.
Oh. The Saintess.
Your voice has gotten raspy too. Is that my doing? How is the audio, by the way? Because, like, it feels loud. Like, it feels like it looks loud to me. But I've not touched it, so I think it's the same as it's been.
Yes, let us know if the sound needs to be put down any.
Did I take your voice?
It's fine. The volume is fine.
It's fine. That's unfortunate. To me, your voice held far more value than your blood. And I took that away from you.
Yes, you three took everything from me.
So we did.
Enough chatter, dog.
The Lord's scheme was a success. Oh, that's right. We stopped at a really weird place last time because I was dumb.
Yeah.
The witch's blood brought with it an influx of donations, which the Lord invested in various businesses in the city. I have no idea if the blood actually has miraculous powers, but there were certainly people claiming to have been healed by it. It wasn't long before people who weren't sick started making use of the supposed cure-all medication, saying it had preventative properties as well. As word of the elixir spread, the Lord's profits grew in kind. One fact was undeniable. The witch's blood stimulated the city's dramatic growth. So this is why we were laughing last time about where I stopped, because I stopped at a really weird place. We could have gone on for 2 more minutes and he would have been done with his story.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was a dumbass. I was like, here looks good.
Here is good. Let's stop here.
And that's everything. Appalling, is it not? Morgana, if you hate me for what I did to her, you can take this sword and kill me with it. And you can have my key. I won't put up a fight. You have the right to exact punishment on me. Killing you would accomplish nothing. It's neither my place to forgive nor punish you. As much as it would make me feel better, doing so would serve no meaningful purpose. I would like you to give me a little time, though. I need some time to cool down so that I can talk to you with a clear head. Of course. So, you are still willing to speak with me? I gave you my word. I told you I would help you figure out what path you should take. You're an honorable man. I will not force your hand if you don't want to do this. You can tell me to leave and I'll walk right out that door. More than anger or hatred, I'm simply deeply pained. Maybe things would have turned out better if I were a sympathetic man as you. People are supposed to be able to feel happy or sad for each other. I can't, though, which must make me a beast. When you first met, I'm having really bad issues with my eyes right now. Everything is like triple vision, and so I am struggling to read. It's killing me, so there will be lots of fuck ups, but it's fine. When you first met Morgana, you felt a desire to rescue her from the slave traders, did you not? You thought of someone other than yourself. I never saw that desire through, though. My thirst far overpowered anything I might have wanted to do for her. And the next time we met, I sold her to the Lord. As I said before, there's no room for interpretation in the things I have done. Whatever I might have wanted to do at one point, it's all meaningless now. Regardless, anything I do for someone else is ultimately for my own benefit. Because it's what I need. No matter how selfish your motivations may ultimately be, please let me believe that some part of you does genuinely want to help her. Alright. I know I'll sound like a hypocrite for saying this, but sitting back and waiting for her to die is not what I want. When I cut off her arm, I didn't feel any of the thrill or euphoria that I usually do when I take my sword to someone. I can't say whether that means I had a conscience, if but for a moment, or if I just wasn't myself at the time. If you can save her, though, please do. I can't do anything. If I try, that'll only make things worse. I can't do everything on my own either. Give me your word that you will atone to Morgana for your actions. While I doubt making reparations will clear me of my crimes, if that is what you want me to do, it is what I will do. Can I ask you something? What is it? Tell me more about my next life. I want to know what kind of man I am. I want to know every mistake I make, all the details. I warn you, it's a tale far more barbaric than anything you can imagine. Do you still want to hear it? Yawn. I do. And I have little doubt that I will believe it. If you are worried I might react the way I did earlier, I'll lay down my sword. You can tie me up too if you want. That won't be necessary. I'm going to trust you. I'll tell you the whole hopelessly tragic truth. Everything I saw with no embellishments. Please do. And so I told him the tale I'd witnessed from beyond the second door. That he lost his memory in a shipwreck, and that he was treated like a beast by the people in the land where he washed up, that he massacred countless people, and that he took the life of his lover who'd come in search of him, never wavering in her belief that he was still alive.
Oh, somebody's EP.
I am very EP. I told him about the white-haired girl. I told him about the things he made Giselle do. I didn't hide anything. As I spoke, he would occasionally grimace or his eyes would go wide for a moment, but not once did he interrupt me. He sat there in silence until I finished. You weren't kidding. That was far worse than what I had imagined. It is the truth, though. You became the target of Morgana's loathing, and you're led back to this mansion. That's what lies in your future. As difficult as it may be to comprehend, that person is you. The man who does all of those things hundreds of years from now is you. I really am a beast. A horrendously precarious creature. As I interpret it, when you lost your memory, you also lost everything that you used to suppress your nature. You lost the foundation you'd built, and as a result, you are no longer able to maintain that balance. Would that mean that what I am now is, comparatively speaking, human? No, I'm no different now. I have no more control over myself when I'm killing people than the man you described. You've seen me do reprehensible things. And in spite of that, you were never condescending or insulting, never acted disgusted or afraid of me. Are all angels as compassionate as you? I am not an angel. I was simply biting my tongue. Are you afraid of me then? I'm not afraid of you, no. What are you then? I don't understand. I am of the belief that now is not the appropriate time for me to allow my personal feelings to influence my actions. My task is to save Morgana. If I'm to be honest with you for a moment, I despise the man that you are in the future, but I'm also equally frustrated at myself. You're right, the things you did were inexcusable. You murdered innocents, you killed the woman who came searching for you. But on a personal level, what angers me the most is that you put blood in the hands of the woman I love. I know very well that to you, it's something you haven't done yet, but it was still your soul. It tears me apart inside that I couldn't return in time to stop it. You'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who wouldn't be angry to know someone they cared about had received that kind of treatment. I suppose. If that's how you feel, though, aren't you interested in taking revenge on me? As I mentioned before, there are times when allowing your emotion to take the reins is the wrong course of action. This is one of those times. Seeking vengeance is the wrong thing for me to do right now. If I can eliminate Morgana's hatred, the three of your souls will be set free as well. So you're going to save me too. Yes, I am. I don't consider myself worthy of redemption, especially not after hearing about the things I will do. I am a beast through and through, a twisted psychopathic monster. You were conflicted, though. You struggled against the creature that dwelled inside you. It's true that you found perverted joy in violence and murder, but you also felt kindness, which caused a part of you to seek peace. And the same can be said of you in this time as well. If you actually were nothing but a beast, or rather nothing but a man that derived pleasure in killing, maybe then I could have truly reviled you. Then you would be irredeemable no matter what had turned you into that. No matter how much pain and suffering had driven you to that point. But your instability, your constantly shifting desires, your mental frailty, all appear to me as very human traits. Tell me, how should I live my life from here on? What is it you want most? The easiest road for me would be the one I walk now, to continue being a killer. No fighting my desires, no resisting what's inside of me. Would that be my salvation, to abandon my humanity entirely? I don't know what I should do, what I'm supposed to do. I'm at a complete loss about everything. I would like to believe that your desire to live in peace is still sincere, and that that's what I want for you too. It'll be the more trying path, yes, because you'll have to fight against your nature to stay on it. But we live in a human world. And you also have Pauline, who wants the same thing, extending her hand for you, inviting you to join her. So I encourage you to suppress your urges. Your life will not be easy for it, but I implore you to take the rocky road, for your own sake and for hers.
Oh, big yawns.
Mm-hmm.
Someone is very, very eepy.
It took everything I had not to go to bed, but, you know. Hold on. I have partial solution to EP.
Oh, we are in the wrong outfits.
Oh, we are.
Oh.
Give me a minute, I'll change clothes. May I have...
Yes.
Just a moment, folk. I change clothes.
He change. I big sipios. Tee.
Even if it means my entire life is built on a foundation of lies.
Are you okay?
Yeah, sorry. Ugh. My eyes!
Your eyes.
Before today, I believed it was wrong not to be before today, I believed it was wrong not to be true to oneself. Wrong voice.
Wrong voice.
But as I listened to your story, I came to realize that maybe there are exceptions. Some things you can, and possibly should, keep locked inside you where they can't hurt anyone else. However, I also think you have a tendency to try and act too perfect around her, both in this life and the next. You cover up so much of yourself that you become an entirely different person. You can be your conflicted and perfect self around her. The man you are right now, lost in trying to find his way. I have little doubt she will accept that man. What you need is restraint. I see. So tell me, do you think my future can be changed? I don't know for certain, so all I can do is speculate. But as you share the same soul, I expect changes that you make now will be reflected in your future incarnation. I have my work cut out for me then. Pauline, she believed in me. She put her faith in a beast and went out in search of him. I cannot allow myself to be the kind of monster that would murder a woman like her. I have to change. I will change the future. You can do it. When my life here comes to an end, I vow to make my next one better. Thank you for listening to me, and for giving me guidance. I can't say I'm particularly suited for the job. Knowing my words are going to influence the direction of another's life is an unimaginable amount of pressure. I don't know. I'd say you pull it off well enough. And if you ever decide to quit being an angel, you'd make a damn convincing missionary. I have no interest in being a missionary, and as I've told you, I'm not an angel. That's too bad. I would join the Church of Michael.
The Church of Michael?
The Church of Michael? What?
Would you join the Church of Michael?
No, it's a church. I don't care what kind of church. I'm not joining any more churches. It never shakes up down well for me.
No.
No. Like, listen up, there's a devil in the church, and that devil is me, and it's a bad, bad, bad idea.
Oh.
No bueno.
Would you follow the teachings of the Church of Michael even without being a part of the Church of Michael?
Maybe.
Maybe.
But I would never admit to it.
Oh. I was nuggied for my questions.
We were nuggied. Nuggied. You guys should all give Spirit some serious credit. This new software we're trying out, he set it all up. Despite the fact it'd probably be something that would have been better for me to have done, he took it upon himself to do it, which I am really grateful for because I get easily irritated and I don't have a whole lot of free time outside of work. So I was like,
Oh, I get head pets. Thank you. Thank you.
That was how I felt. So he did it, and I'm grateful. My only contribution was I was like, we need cummy wummies.
We need the cummies.
We need the cummies. The cummies.
The cummies. Yes. And he sat next to me questioning the opacity of it. And I'm like, it's different, I swear. No, it's not. It's different.
Oh my god! It fucking worked! Let's go! It fucking worked! It fucking worked.
It fucking worked.
It fucking worked. It's fine, it's fine. You can even do it again if you want. Me staring intently at the screen, just waiting. Thank you. I will do that like 3 or 4 times a day, or I'll go. And he's just like, "Oh my god, again? Really? Is it?" He's like, "Is it time already?"
Already. That's the Peter Griffin Axel F is what's secretly going on in Michael's head.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's what's going on in his head now that fucking Giselle's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Behind all the periods is Peter Griffin.
Yeah. That's what this means. This here really translates to.
And then out there.
There we go. See, we translated it for everyone.
That's really what it says.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever they're doing the dot dot dots back and forth, that's really them just singing to each other. They're serenading each other. Don't look at me like that. I'm just kidding. I wasn't kidding though. I was being serious. Now can I get angry at you? But what was he kidding about? I
Joining the Church of Michael.
Oh, right. Yes, I forgot about the Church of Michael. That feels like so long ago. As I've been telling you, I'm an ordinary man. I'm not special in any way like you seem to think I am. You are not ordinary. You're different, but not in the same way I am. I wouldn't ask any normal man to show me how to lead my life. I see. Although what passes for normal differs from person to person, I suppose. I'm sure there are people, just as I don't think you're normal, I'm sure there are people out there who do. Perhaps. Perchance. Or maybe they're just able to see my desire to be normal. Well, that's everything I have to tell you. You're going to want to talk to the Lord next, I presume? That's right. I'm going to convince him to hand over his key, and then I'm going to set Morgana free. I doubt you'll have much luck in convincing him of anything, but I'll help in any way I can. I appreciate it. I'll get him to come to supper tonight. You be there too. Okay, I'll be there. If I could ask you one more favor though, could you try to arrange that as late as possible? That should be doable, but why? There's someone else I need to speak with first. Alright. I'll do what I can. Thank you. See you this evening then. I've lost track of all time. Like, I have no idea what time of day it's meant to fucking be right now. I thought it was nighttime.
It looks like it's nighttime.
I don't know.
It was sunny before he started telling him about his next life, and then it got dark.
Maybe it's the wee hours of the early morning. It's the wee tiny hour.
Wee tiny hours.
Tiny hours. The hours are small.
Small.
Speaking of small, oh my god. You guys haven't heard about the holiday that is today.
The holiday that is today.
One second. Let me just... Okay. There. He is there. You can tell people. What is today?
He can be seen, yes.
Yes.
Today is Gizmo Day. It has been exactly 1 year. 1 year since we got Gizmo.
We adopted him this day, last year.
It's Gizmo's gotcha day.
He's
a baby.
He's a baby.
1 whole year.
1 whole year. 1 whole year.
He is not thrilled about it, but that's just because he's shedding and there's a bit of shed on his nose that he can't get rid of.
It's completely stuck to his nose, so it's just gonna be stuck there for a moment.
Yes.
Anyway, because it's Gizmo Day, you guys are getting a free 5 minutes with Gizmo as we keep going.
Yes.
Did I lead him to the correct path? Will he actually find redemption at the end of it? No, I made the right decision. Even if he doesn't in his next life, there's a chance that he will in his next. 1 left and that's it. I'm almost there, Giselle. I've almost made it to Morgana. I've come this far. All that's left is to speak with the Lord. Stay focused, Michael. The pieces I have still don't fit together yet. As Morgana told it, the Lord was a cruel man from the moment she first saw him. And he wasn't much different in the swordsman's telling of events either. Are those portrayals the full picture of what kind of man he is? Will adding his perspective do anything but amplify Morgana's hatred? And if he really is exactly the man he's been made out to be, then how do you explain his internal struggles from the third door? Did his core personality change with the times? Everyone else I've met has been fundamentally the same, though. Are you the exception, Jacopo? And then another. Morgana found joy in her life during the 3 years at the brothel. She wept about not being given the opportunity to thank them. So maybe Maria is more likely to be able to assuage Morgana's animosity. I'll have to hear what she has to say. I can barely move my right arm. I can't feel my fingers at all. It burns. I've managed this long, but damn if it doesn't hurt.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That end.
Is this who I think is?
Probably.
Why must you hand out medicals for nothing?
I know that voice. I'm looking up at someone. A woman. She's draped in a black fog, and yet I can't make out any details. But even through the darkness, I know immediately who she is. She is Mother.
Oh.
My... No, she's not my mother. She is... Am I talking?
Oh,
Michael is Morgana right now.
Right. Why would you even ask such a question, Mother?
We're barely holding on as it is, my dear. It's not wrong to expect a little remuneration for our services.
No, Mother, it is wrong. Miracles are not to be bartered for. God the Father does not charge for his miracles, so why should we, when I am only borrowing his power?
Listen to me, Morgana. Every time you give someone a blessing, you're hurting yourself. It's not for the miracle itself. You deserve some degree of compensation for the pain.
I know you're concerned for me, Mother, and I appreciate it very much, but I'm happy with the way things are. I'm happy to be able to help others with my Heavenly Father's power.
A power you won't have for much longer, my dear, if we can't afford to keep ourselves fed.
I'm a saint, aren't I?
Yes, you're my sweet little saint.
God will not forsake his saint. No matter how difficult it may get, he will always provide me a way to continue doing his work. And you're the mother of that saint, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. I conceived you untainted by the hands of a man.
Then you must respect his will as well, Mother. It must be our highest priority.
You're right. I was wrong, my dear saint.
Mother, you agreed with me. You said I was right. So why are you taking money from that man? Mother?
Mother looks over as a strange man shoved me into a carriage. The look in her eyes sends a chill down my spine. I see her lips moving. She doesn't actually say the words out loud, but I can make out every single syllable. Because you're worthless to me.
Welcome, daughter of God. You'll be performing miracles for me now. And if you cooperate, I can guarantee you'll live more than comfortably. Miracles are not something to be performed for one single person's benefit. What? Miracles are not magic or parlour tricks. They are a precious gift granted to me by my Father in heaven. Using his power for personal gratification is a grave sin. Why are you cackling?
Because I know something you don't know. Keep going.
Am I doing something wrong?
Yes, but it's fine.
What do you mean it's fine?
It's fine, you'll find out soon enough. It's fine.
I will do no such thing. I entreat you to think long and hard about your actions. Have I got the wrong person?
Maybe.
Why are you being difficult? Do away with such selfish desires and dedicate yourself to helping the people. The power you have been given was bestowed upon you by the hand of God.
Because I don't want to spoil nothing.
It is not your power. He is mainly allowing you to make use of it for a short time.
I just don't want to do spoils. Are you okay?
Pride is a sin.
He's ignoring me, guys. I am being ignored.
Because you won't tell me what I've done wrong. Please consider how you conduct yourself. Should this be you?
No, it is still you.
Oh. Wow. I'm being nuggied.
Nuggied.
You're an ignorant, insolent child, aren't you? I bought you. You are my property. You have no right to an opinion. That is not my opinion. That is the way of the world. As God, silence. You're not here to talk. You're here to perform miracles for me and my guests. As I've already told you, I will do no such thing. What you will or will not do is my decision, not yours.
The Lord says with a sickening laugh, then grabs me by the hair and knocks me to the floor. I beg him to stop, but he isn't listening to a word I say.
Cheers, the saint's blood and good fortune to all.
I stare vaguely at the crowd, gathered for the Lord's blood feast. Every time he has guests, he throws another party, and every time he slices another part of my arms or legs open. It isn't long before they're an unsightly web of crisscrossing scars. The Lord sometimes has trouble deciding where to cut, but not out of any sense of sympathy for me. He simply thinks drawing blood from an untouched area of my body would make it more effective. The Lord strips me bare.
Perhaps I'll use your stomach today, Saint. I should be able to get some nice pure blood from there. Stop this. Can you not comprehend what you're doing is an affront to the Lord? I'm free to do what I wish with my property. Saint or not, you're no different than any of my slaves. The Lord is greatly displeased with your actions. Then use your miracle powers to deliver divine punishment onto me. Go on. You can do that, can't you? Your soul will be punished. You may not see the effects now, but you will pay for your sins one day. You're not as threatening as you think you are, buck-naked girl. Don't give me that look, girl. I have no interest in taking that from you. You'd be lucky to find anyone willing to lay with a girl covered in disgusting scars.
All I can do is wait for day after day of torture and shame, of the Lord searching for new places to stick his knife. My entire body except for my face is covered in reddish-black wounds.
Someone, anyone, help me. Get me out of here. Please, someone. O Father who art in heaven, I pray for you to lead me unto deliverance. Father, your trials, they are much too great.
Morgana. That was much clearer than the first time I saw it. Everything she felt, her struggling, her sincerity, her pain, and her voice. It felt as though I was the one going through it all. The Lord. I can understand why Morgana would bear such a powerful grudge against him, considering everything he did to her. Why would he do that, though? Is there some reason, some explanation for his actions? I'm thoroughly exhausted, like I've just spent the last several months having my blood drained again and again. My limbs feel like they have boulders tied to them. Just trying to get to my feet makes me dizzy. So cold. She's probably waiting for me by now. I should get going. I have to do this. Move, damn it. Fighting against my body's attempts to succumb to gravity with every step through sheer force of will, I make my way to the courtyard. Oh, there you are. Thank God you came. Sneaking into the church grounds is a bit unnerving, so if you... Are you alright? You look like you just came back from the dead. I'm fine. Thank you for coming. Now to continue our conversation from yesterday. Whoa, slow down. Who do you think you're convincing? You look as fine as a fucking corpse. If you're not feeling well, we can always do this some other time. And whoa, what happened to your hand? It's a minor injury. Nothing of any significance. Seriously, who do you think you're convincing, man? I can get around fine without a few fingers. You've got to take yourself into consideration, too. You can only run on raw determination for so long. Yes, exactly. Here, why don't you come in here and talk to the microphone, huh? You want to come talk to the microphone?
Come here, Nagito.
And imagine how it makes me feel for a second. You asking to talk and showing up looking like that. If you want to get anything done, you've got to take care of yourself first. Head on back to your room and rest.
Nagito appearance. Yes.
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 He too shy to come much closer to Mike, but it's fine. Let's do this some other day, okay? When you're feeling... I don't have that kind of time. Noon tomorrow. That's my deadline. I have to take care of everything before then. I know damn well what condition I'm in, but that doesn't change what I need to do. If I don't, I can't save Morgana. I can't get Giselle back. That makes it all the more important to get your rest. And when do you suggest I do that exactly? Honestly, I don't get why you're in such a damn tizzy. Get a hold of yourself, man. I'm plenty calm. Sure don't look like it. You're already pushing yourself to the edge. I don't want to be responsible for giving you that last nudge. So quit bickering with me, get your ass back, and get some rest. You don't understand the gravity of the situation. None of you do. You don't grasp how great an effect stopping what happens tomorrow will have. I have to keep moving, even if it means crawling through the dirt. If I don't, not only will I fail to make things better, Morgana's almost certainly got even worse fates in store for all of you so long as this curse lives on. I'm the only one here who knows what's awaiting you. So that makes you what, a prophet or something then? Not exactly, no. But in terms of this time period, that would be the most apt description. Oh, hello, Nagito.
Oh, he has arrived.
He came by my leg.
No.
He sit by leg.
He sit by leg.
Do you not believe me? Well, you know, that is asking a lot. That's fine, you don't have to. But at the very least, I want you to believe that I genuinely believe something terrible is going to happen tomorrow if I don't do something. That I think I don't have time to waste. All I need for you to do is tell me what you know. Could you do that for me? Assuming you actually are a prophet or whatever, why don't you just, get the hell out of town? Say fuck it, this is all too much, and vanish into the night. No one's gonna blame you if you do. Hell, is anyone even gonna notice that you did anything if you do succeed? I'm not in this for the attention or praise. I can't sit by idly, knowing what I know. Seeing what has happened and what will. Knowing what Morgana went through, what she felt. I can't abandon her, not anymore. I can't let my knowledge go to waste. While it is true that the mansion will continue to be wrapped in darkness so long as Morgana's curse remains in effect, and nothing can be put to rest until I do something about that, that's not my sole motivation anymore. I sincerely want to help Morgana. Giselle, is this what you meant when you told me you wanted me to save her? You seem like the kind of fellow who's always fretting about something or another. You don't know how to take it easy, do you? So I guess in a way, that's kind of why you can fight so hard, huh? Alright, you win, I'll talk.
Sippy, sippy.
Anything you want to know, I'll tell you. Thank you very much. But, you sit your butt down first. Okay. Morgana said that? She did. She described her 3 years as one of the brightest periods of her life. Huh, who'd have thought? Damn, that's kind of really great to hear. Did she never tell you herself how she felt? She never really made much of an attempt to be part of the group. It was like she had these colossal walls all around her. I can see that. Oh, excuse me. The cream soda. Give me the burpees.
Give you the burpees.
Tasty burpees though. Taste like vanilla.
Yes.
Yeah, so I always kind of felt like I never knew if I was sticking my nose in too far or not, you know? She appreciated what you and the other woman did for her. After the raid 4 years ago, she ended up in the hands of a slave trader. As she was being transported, she said this with tears in her eyes. You can do it a quote.
I'm sad because I didn't get the chance to show my gratitude to people very dear to me.
Well, damn. So, is that, absolutely 100% exactly what she said? You're not just pulling it out of your ass, are you? Those were her exact words, yes, as hard as it may be to believe. Nah, I believe you. I'm just surprised is all. I mean, just, wow. Yeah. If I'd known that's how she felt, maybe I could have been a bit friendlier to her. You weren't friendly with her? Not especially. I mean, that's not to say I was cold or anything. It's just that all the girls kept a bit of distance from her. Not because we didn't like her, but because of what it looked like she wanted. Some distance. None of us were really cut for the caretaker gig. As much as we would have loved to be some kind of mother figure for her, we just didn't have it in us. Who was closest to her? He's dead. The slave. Huh? What's this about a slave? There was a young man, a slave who participated in the revolt at the Lord's Manor who saved Morgana's life. Ah, yeah, that's the guy. He was the closest of any of us to her, or at least he gave her the most attention. And he's 6 feet under. That's unfortunate. What can you do? People come and go, that's just the way of things. I thought that maybe if you were still alive, that would improve our chances of saving Morgana. Improve our chances? There's only one way about it. We'll smash the Lord's fucking skull in and take his key. That's not an option. Doing that will not alleviate her hatred. Would you be willing to accompany us when we go into the observation tower? Huh? Me? Why? I want you to be there to say something to her. I'll say what you want me to say once you've gotten her out of the tower. Don't you think being able to hear the voice of someone she cares for when she's finally set free would do more to pull her out of the darkness than anything else? That's all the more reason it can't be me. Why not? Like I've been saying, I was never that tight with her. I kept my distance. I can't do anything, not with the reasons you've given me for why she's still full of hatred. I have no other options, though. Actually, while I doubt this will do much in the way of getting rid of her grudge, there's actually something I was supposed to give her but never got the chance. Oh? It's nothing special, just a rinky-dink little necklace, but if you get the chance, would you mind giving it to her? If anyone, that should come from you. It's not from me. It was supposed to be from the slave. He got it for her as a birthday present, but that was the day the brothel got raided. So, yeah, that's the story. Make sure she gets it, would you? Okay, I will. Thanks, man. Well, now that's out of the way, I should split. Best of... I do not remember. Do we think Nelly, maybe? Or... It's kind of... It feels kind of... late to be Nelly?
It does feel kind of late to be Nelly.
Who do you think? What's your guess? Nelly is my guess.
Pauline? There you are. I was both.
Oh, look at us both. We right. Yes, bitch.
Look at us go. You weren't in your room. I was worried sick.
What are you two doing here?
You're going to talk to the Lord tonight, right? So, there's a chance you might be able to set the Saints free. No way am I going to miss that.
That's why you're here?
That, and to say goodbye. I want for them to make reparations as soon as the girl's released.
Do you feel the same way, Nellie?
If Mel tells me he wants to, then I won't stop him. But he was threatened, so if it's possible, I don't think there's any need for him to rush to be punished. I don't want to lose my brother. Surely there are other ways he can atone. That's reasonable. I do feel guilty about what he was put through. It's not your fault what he did. Anyway, I'm really, really anxious about tonight, but I'm sure it'll all turn out fine. You'll make it work, won't you, dearest Michael?
I'll do my best.
Oh, come on, you've got to act confident. Take care of my Mel for me too. He's very fragile, so handle him with care. Like a big old box of china.
Is he really that fragile?
As for me, if he looks like he's going to do anything he shouldn't, would you stop him for me? I wish I could be there to do it myself, but, well, he insists only that people directly involved should be there, and I want to respect that.
I was never going to allow anyone to get hurt anyway.
That's good. Thank you. Being the Lord may have caused the girl a great deal of pain, but I still don't want anyone to get hurt.
Some people deserve it, and I say let them have it.
No, Maria, don't be like that.
You're the weird one, Little Miss Perfect. Going around letting everyone off the hook for everything, the whole damn world's gonna come falling down around you.
He did what he did for me, though.
And the Lord, he's only in it for his own profit. Much as he says it benefits the city, it still comes back around to his own damn pockets.
The Lord's not a bad man, though.
Yeah, I've heard it 1,000 times. Not a bad no one's a bad person in your eyes, I know. Now, can we please try to keep things civil? Ah, yeah, sorry, bad habit, I know. I take a lot of rot, but I don't really mean half of it.
I do think he's much better than the old Lord, though.
Hold on a second. What did you say?
He's better than the old?
When did the current Lord take his place?
4 years ago?
What? Morgana was 9 years old when she was at the Lord's Banner. 7 years ago. Maria, were you ever at the Lord's Manor at any time 7 years ago? No, I was never hired by anyone there. Then when? She didn't have any interaction with the Lord 7 years ago. Oh, now it all makes sense. How did I not consider the possibility sooner? I know what kind of man he is. I know the people he had around him. Maria, is the slave actually dead? That's what I was giggling about.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm assuming that this is exactly who we think it is.
Oh.
I'm assuming this is Jacob O.
Okay.
I think.
You better have a damn good reason for this.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure the dinner scene came after that.
I came because you said you had something important to discuss. Now care to tell me who the hell this white-haired man is and what he's doing here? You neglected to mention we'd be having company.
I'm the one who asked for him to arrange this meeting with you.
And who the hell would you be?
He's an angel. Or a prophet.
What? Did you both finally snap under the pressure?
I'll leave it to you to decide what you think I am. I will say, though, that I know everything. I know you've got a girl imprisoned in the observation tower, and I know you're taking her blood and calling it medicine, passing it out at the church.
Which one of you squealed?
No one told him anything. He just knew. He knows everything, including my deepest desires and what happens in my next life. He's probably peering into your soul this very moment.
You've completely lost it, I see. Well, how you got your information doesn't matter. All I need to know is this. What are you hoping to gain from it? Wealth? My downfall? What?
Morgana's freedom. I want you to give me your key, and then I want you to tell me your story. I've come here from the future, from a world far after Morgana's death. Her soul courses with hatred for the three of you, and she's placed a curse of eternal suffering on your souls.
Has everyone at this damn table gone mad?
Sorry, I did not see the name change.
It's okay.
My eyesight is shit right now. I'm seeing everything in like 240p.
Oh no.
I'm not kidding. Like, if I look at you from this distance from you, I can't see your eyes.
Oh no.
That's how bad my eyesight is right now. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I took off my glasses because they genuinely weren't making a difference.
Yeah.
It's almost like, you know, sometimes like if you sleep wrong and you like wake up and your eyes are all blurry and you just kind of have to wipe them and they're fine.
Yeah.
Mine are like that, but I rub them and they're not getting better.
Ugh. Did you seriously think I would believe that nonsense?
Don't interrupt me. My objective is not so much to rescue Morgana's physical body from the tower, but to save her soul from an eternity of loathing. Oh, that was a painful hiccup. Oh my god.
Oh, no.
I can't achieve that on my own, however. Because I'm not from this time, I have no direct interaction with her or anyone else until just recently. In order to make her have a change of heart, I need to gather the truth from the people who are from this time. And I suspect that you hold the last piece of the puzzle. The biggest piece. That you have a far deeper connection with Morgana than anyone else here. No, I'm all but certain of it now. Your perspective is crucial to accomplishing my goal. Tell me your whole story, please. How you ended up capturing and imprisoning Morgana, and what you thought and felt along the way. Your truth will get through to her, I know it. That'll be the turning point in all this. Her curse will be no more, and you will be returned to the paths you were meant to walk. Everyone will have their salvation.
Someone throw this madman out.
I won't do it. Neither will I.
Damn worthless cause. I'll call the guards then. Who do you think I am exactly? I am the lord of this land. Under ordinary circumstances, I'd never so much as deigned to speak with you, lowly peasant. Now get out of my sight. Or I'll take it as an act of aggression and you'll find yourself without a head.
In this room right now, you're not a lord, you're a lone man. Until you hand over your key, we're not letting you leave. And you'll find there aren't any guards for you to call. You're all alone on this estate. Your preoccupation with staying out of sight played right into our hands. Accept your defeat, Lord. We've already agreed to set the witch free.
Cowardly worms.
Ironic coming from you.
I didn't think you'd turn coat quite so eagerly. Then on your kid sister and in on it too, I take it.
We were only working for you. We never felt any sort of allegiance to you.
Loyalty founded on what one has to gain or lose is far more resilient than uncertain, fluctuating feelings. But it would appear this white-haired man shattered that foundation. How long have you been colluding with them, Car?
I arrived in this era 2 days ago.
What? 2 days? In just 2 days you got these worms dancing for you?
They're not dancing for me. I merely spoke with them and they listened.
You're a disturbed man. You couldn't possibly have won these two over in a mere 2 days.
He's no ordinary man. As we've said, he knew everything. While I was talking to him, it felt like he was looking directly into my soul. He's definitely an unusual one, yeah. It felt like he'd known me my whole life, even though he just showed up out of nowhere 2 days ago. I didn't believe what he was saying at first. But he knew things that he couldn't possibly know. My secret wish, something I'd never told anyone before.
I don't know what kind of tricks you're playing, but now I know why I've never seen you around. If you'd been lurking around the city for longer, sticking your nose where it didn't belong, I would have taken notice sooner or later. I'm impressed. In only 2 days, you managed to convince them both to betray me and set me up. I am indeed the one in charge of this operation. So if it's the witch you're after, I'm the obvious target, yes. And the two dogs there surely have some pent-up rage. So I take it you're going to tie me up and then torture me until I tell you what you want to know?
That's not a bad idea. What do you say? Give me the word and he's in ropes. Wait, we agreed we weren't going to get rough. I have no interest in solving this problem with violence. We are here to uncover the truth. We needn't exchange blows, only words. Anyway, if we were going to beat it out of him, we would have done so as soon as he walked through the door. We discussed this beforehand, we're only talking. No one's getting into any fights, physically or verbally. That's right.
Well, it looks like I've got no way out, so you've got me. I surrender. Take my key. Go open the tower doors.
What? That was easier than I expected. Your key isn't important right now. Your perspective is what I seek. Why did you make it so the lock required 3 keys? One person is more than adequate for the job. So why split it 3 ways?
Is that any of your concern, Carl?
Was it because it was too much weight to bear alone? You didn't actually want to imprison Morgana, did you? Something, somewhere went wrong. You backed yourself into a corner and couldn't escape.
I'm done listening to you.
Am I right or am I wrong, Lord? Or should I say, Jacopo? Jacopo, but isn't his name, Jean-Francois Barnier?
That's Lord Barnier to you, you insolent child. You seem to be a bit confused. I am the son of the House of Barnier, which means I'm royalty.
No, you're not. I don't know how you came to start calling yourself Barnier, but there's not a drop of royal blood flowing through your veins. The slave revolt at the Lord's Manor 7 years ago. You were there, weren't you? During the revolt, you helped Morgana escape. That's right, you saved her life once. See, this is why I was giggling, because it's 2 different lords.
Yes.
He. That was you. You were the slave for 7 years ago. Slave.
Are you out of your goddamn mind? Me, a slave? Like hell, a former slave could become royalty.
You did it, though. You went from slave to lord.
Enough. I don't know who's filling that white-haired head of yours with this jowl, but I'm done listening to it. Say another word and I'll throttle you myself. Keep slandering my name. I dare you.
Maria told me a slave from back then was dead. She didn't mean it literally, though. She meant that he wasn't who he used to be anymore.
Maria? You've been talking to her too?
Because she was afraid if Morgana found out, it would only serve to throw her deeper into despair. The man who'd once saved her was now responsible for keeping her imprisoned.
Do your ears not work, Car? I've said I've had enough.
I don't think Michael fucking cares.
No, Michael does not care.
Michael's like, no, justice!
Justice
Freedom!
for Morgana.
Scotland!
Freedom, Scotland!
I need your perspective. There's more to the story, I'm certain of it. I refuse to believe you only acted for your own benefit, only to cause her pain. Oh! Scotland! Forever! Ah! Truly magnificent. Thank you, son.
Thank you.
I said son and then looked to make sure it was actually him.
It was son, yes.
I refuse to believe you only acted for your own benefit, only to cause her pain.
If you wanted the key so damn badly, then take it. Set the witch free, I don't give a damn. But if you say another word, I'll rip your fucking tongue out.
Again, the key is not what I need right now. I need your story.
Are you deaf or just an imbecile?
Your perspective is crucial to saving Morgana's soul.
Enough.
When you were a slave, you helped Morgana escape from the Lord.
Silence.
And you spent the next 3 years with her.
Just one more fucking word, I swear to God.
These feel like empty threats.
Yeah.
So how did you end up here? How did the boy from 7 years ago go from saving her to locking her up and stealing her blood? There's no excusing your actions, no. But please, I need you to tell me how you got to this point.
Enough!
Michael! The next thing I see is a dagger in his hand pointed at me. I reflexively try and push myself out of the path of his charge with my dominant hand, which sends a jolt of excruciating pain up my right arm. Ugh.
I'll rip your fucking head off.
The Lord swings his arm up, and the necklace spills from my pocket, making a metallic clink as it hits the floor. When he sees it, his eyes go wide for a brief moment. Of course. I'm just as slack-jawed as him.
What the hell is going on?
Why? How? Why am I looking at a familiar cloud of inky black darkness? There's no one to answer my question, though, and no time to think about it either. I have to make a decision right now. The Lord, dagger raised, is quickly approaching. Off to the side, the cloud of darkness is expanding. Sabe.
Sabe.
Which one do you think it is?
I would
Do
say
not look
this
at
is
the-
the right one.
Okay.
Because otherwise, why would it be there? So,
We shall be the Lord aside.
shove.
Shove!
Shove!
Without thinking, I shoved the Lord aside. Well, that didn't sound good.
No.
What? The next thing I see is the Lord's body crumbling to the floor. His head rolling off in a separate direction. I'm agape, dumbfounded, my eyes swimming. Yes?
Could Yukimasa just not resist the urge to whip out his blade at this point?
Yukimasa whips out his blade like a fucking cishet man likes to whip out his fucking deck when he's in a texting conversation with his coworker. True or false?
True.
I feel like he's the kind of man who just send, like, if he were in the modern age and could text people, he would just be sending pictures of his katana all the time. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. My tummy. Big air bubble in my tummy. Ah! As blood spreads in a pool around his body. Why? Why did you kill him? He was thinking it. You saw the dots.
I saw the dots.
He was going to kill you. I had no choice. You weren't supposed to kill him. If I hadn't, then you'd be dead. I needed his story. Not as much as we need you alive. What does this mean for my next life? I shouldn't have shoved him. Getting the truth out of him was more important than my own safety. And now we can't get anything from him. That was a mistake. I got him killed. Hey, Michael, what are we supposed to do now? There's no changing what's already been done. I need to think forward about how we're going to proceed. We'll go to the tower. We'll try and assuage as much of Morgana's hatred as possible with your two perspectives. Come on. Okay. As you say. I hate to be that person, but we need to take a break because I really need the bathroom.
You need the toilet.
Mm-hmm. So, we will be right back. Enjoy Gizmo on Gizmo Day.
Gizmo Day!
weep and struggle and suffer and die.
We return.
We return.
Using the key we took from the Lord's corpse, the three of us unlocked the observation tower, climbed the spiral staircase, and opened the door at the top. The air in the room is bone-chilling. A single shaft of moonlight shines through the high tower window, illuminating the young girl imprisoned within. Nagito is having the zoomies in the other room.
Mm-hmm. He's, by the sounds of that thump, back on top of the counters, the cabinets. This is his favourite place to be right now.
You took a water break, you had to top off the bucket?
Top off the bucket. That's perfectly fine, bucket. And I'm sorry that you've been robbed twice of your $700.
Wait. Like, someone explain, because I did not see the chat, and I don't have a mouse, so I can't scroll.
Bucket went to bingo, and this is the second time that some grandma's taken the $700 prize.
No! Rob cheated.
Cheated.
I bet she had an already filled out bingo card.
Tut tut.
I'm aghast at what I see. She's been treated far worse than I imagined. Her skin is so deathly pale it sends a chill through me. Just looking at her, I'm not even certain that she's still alive. Morgana? Say something, Morgana. Morgana. A combination of relief at the fact she's still breathing and anger at the condition she's in bubbles up within me. How is any of this necessary? Did you really have to chain her up? Tell me, how was this necessary? We didn't have her chained up at first. Not that it justifies anything, I know. But she started acting up lately. Trying to bite us, getting violent. She even tried to climb up to the window. There's nothing to grab onto or anywhere to put your feet, so it's not like she could even make it that high, but that didn't stop her. She's fallen and hurt herself several times. The chains were the Lord's idea. I'm sorry. I'll be right there, Morgana. Morgana, I've brought a couple of people who wish to make penance. I'll have these chains off of you soon, don't worry. You'll be able to return to your old life soon. Morgana, I'm here to set you free. Stay with me, Morgana.
You're all three here.
What?
The three men. You're all here.
Morgana.
You with the flaxen hair. You're a liar. A charlatan. You're a murderer. You cut off my arm. And you
Honk.
Honk. The train has arrived. It all leads back to you. You tortured me, degraded me for your own amusement. All three of you are here.
Morgana.
Why did you hold all those blood Sabbaths?
That wasn't me, I'm not the Lord.
Why did you go after me again?
The Lord isn't here, Morgana.
All three of you are right there.
Morgana.
Eternal suffering.
No, Morgana, look at me. I'm here to set you free.
Eternal suffering.
Can you not see that I'm not him? Then listen to my voice. Do I sound like the Lord?
Eternal.
I'm not the Lord.
Eternal suffering.
Morgana.
Eternal suffering on all their souls.
The next second, the tower is draped in blackness. The floor beneath us vanishes, and I hear shouts off in the distance as I'm dragged into an endless darkness. There's nothing for me to grab onto. I simply fall through the void. It's a sensation similar to the one I've experienced a number of times before, sinking into the mansion's darkness. But there's something fundamentally different about this. The utter emptiness. The utter sense of solitude. I can't even breathe. My very essence is becoming one with the darkness. Still, I try to struggle against it, when a pair of small arms wrap themselves around me from behind. Loneliness seeps through those arms and wisps about within me, eroding away at my spirit. I'm melding with something.
Will you stay with me? You won't ever leave me, will you? Will you become one with me? Will you stay by my side? I don't want to be alone anymore.
The hatred seems to have left her, but what it left behind, what I'm feeling from her now, is a stark, overwhelming desolation. As much as I know I have to get back to reunite with Giselle, my own emotions are washed away by hers. Curse you, old lady!
Curse you, old lady!
And I'm unable to resist as the two of us, now one and the same, fade away into darkness everlasting, leaving behind only a single teardrop that could be either of ours or both. Okay, now for the correct choice.
The correct choice.
We make the correct choice.
Inspect.
Inspect.
Yes. We reach into the darkness.
I reach my hand into the darkness spreading from the necklace. As soon as I do,
What the hell is this?
what's the black stuff? The blackness swells, consuming us all.
No, stop. What is this? Don't make me watch this.
His shouts fade into the distance, and my mind and body are swallowed up entirely. Did you notice that we made the sound for you, Bucket? We got it on there just for you.
Just for you.
It's the same thing that happens whenever Giselle and I open a door. The same darkness I've gazed into again and again and again and again in that cursed mansion. That house that exists outside reality. Far, far off into the distance, I can see a gentle light, like a hole ripped out of the darkness. Green grass and colorful flowers rustling in the wind. I don't understand. The darkness, it was never present in the past. It was, I thought, a phenomenon restricted to the realm of the dead.
Great choice.
I don't know if it's a great choice. I mean, the darkness is still swallowing them up.
Oh no.
Oh, wait, what? You mean the sound alert? Yes, yes. So what is it doing here? But even my questions are in short order swallowed up by the void. Soon my body ceases to retain its form, leaving only my consciousness to view the sights, sounds, and emotions of someone's past. I become an observer, as I have many times before. So this is where I had us stopping. Do we want to continue and find a different stopping point? Because, I mean, it's only 8:45.
I don't know.
Chat, what do you think? Should we continue? What chat think?
This would be one hell of a cliffhanger though.
It would be, yeah.
Much to someone's disappointment.
The chat is quiet.
The chat has no opinions.
Do you have no opinions, chat?
Bucket is indifferent.
Alright, let's see. We've had Bucket and Sun talking. So, Sun, what do you think? Snud, what do you think? I don't think we've seen Nut today.
I think Nut went at the start. V took first, but then Nut disappeared. Oh, we were just asking if you would like us to continue or stop here.
You lied. Well, I thought the No More Nut came after Nut messaged for the first time in 2 hours.
Yeah. Such dramatic music.
It's telling people to make a choice.
Sun says continue.
Continue. Okay.
Okay, so we have continue, a cont, and an indifferent. So I would say that probably means
What, 1.5 continues?
continue.
Your phone is like, ooh, charger.
Yeah, it likes to randomly remember that it's connected to my computer. I don't know.
By the way, I know that Sun has noticed, but Bucket, Snud, Nut, have you guys noticed the new redeems? Because there are new redeems for the new software that we're using.
New redeems, guys.
And we can thank Lady Chaos for showing us that this software exists. So thank you, Lady Chaos.
Steve has found the pass. Con, more like con.
Yeah. Are you okay?
I've had piss and cum on my face.
How is that different from a normal Wednesday night for you? Explain in one way that that's different.
I don't have. I don't.
Blood.
Snud Hizzle found all 3 of the new ones. I've been nuggied.
Could someone redeem the blood again? I want to see something. Okay, yeah, I can see it, okay.
You can see it.
I was looking away the first time, I didn't see it, and I was like, wait, I didn't see it, did it not happen? But no, it happened, it's okay.
It happened.
I'm gonna have my mouse for just a sec. I'm gonna refund because I told him to do the thing.
Okay.
Just blend. Let's see. Where is one of the bloodbath ones? Bloodbath.
What else is new, son? Oh yes. the bouncy stickers.
If you do a bunch of them, they all show up. Son, would you like to demonstrate?
Many.
Many. Okay, we may continue again.
Almost.
Gay!
Gay hearts! Woo!
Gay! If there is a specific type of pride sticker, by the way, my eyes are not working well enough for me to be able to see.
The dinos.
Dinos. I'm staring into a pair of ruby red eyes open wide with shock. Oh, sorry. I think this is Jacopo, maybe.
I recall snapping at him, insulting him, but I don't remember what I said. Don't, Otto. Nor do I remember how he responded. All I know is that a wave of churning blackness appeared out of nowhere, washing me away. Dab.
Dab.
I'm powerless, helpless, hopeless. My young mind sucked into it like a whirlpool. Young? My young mind? Oh, for Christ's sake. You've got to be kidding me. Why? For the love of God, why am I being made to look back at this part of my life? This miserable, stupid fucking romantic I once was. Why am I turning back into the boy I tried so hard to forget? Where did this absurd black smoke come from, and why can't I get out of it? If it's that white-haired man who's doing this to me, then he's not an angel or a prophet. He's the goddamn devil himself. But my questions, my confusion, my frustration, everything that composes my present is superseded by that darkness, wisping away into nothing. To be blunt, the world's a small place. There's an unimaginable amount of it out there, but you only ever get to see a minuscule fraction of that. And that goes doubly so for us. The poor barely get the chance to see any of it at all. And those who are born into affluence, well, they have just no idea how small our world really is. I never yearned for the world outside what I knew. I more coveted it, a splash of spite mixed in. I wanted to claw my way up the mountain, knock all the bastards down who had never seen what it was like at the bottom. If I made it high enough, I could do anything. I would have complete freedom. Scotland? Scotland? Freedom? He said freedom?
He said freedom.
If that sounds like a childish fantasy to you, well, you'd be right. That's exactly what it was. I don't know who that's supposed to be. There you are. You spend so much time in the graveyard that one of these days someone's going to think you're a gravekeeper. Or maybe a grave robber. I can understand a gravekeeper, but I take offence at the suggestion I look like a grave robber. I'm praying for the souls who have no one to see them off.
I think this one is Jacob Hope and this one is Morgana.
Yeah. Probably. The girl named Morgana turned around to face me. Though I'd known her for some time, I'd rarely ever looked her in the eyes. Her face was almost always concealed beneath a dark hood, revealing only the tip of her nose and sometimes her lips. Honestly, I don't get it. Why do you care so much? These are souls that have no one else to pray for them. At best, they may get a bit of lip service from a priest once or twice. It's our responsibility to offer a helping hand to the sick and the poor, to pray for the abandoned souls. What I don't get is why you need to pray for the dead at all. They're just bags of bones. I hope you enjoy an eternity in hell, blasphemer. Hey, that was uncalled for. I'm just joking, obviously. You take black humour to a new level. Morgana gave me a curt shrug and then turned away. She never faced anyone head on for very long, and she had a perfectly good reason for it. It wasn't because she disliked me or anything. I don't think, anyway. About 3 years earlier, something had happened that had caused large patches of flesh to fall off her face. Supposedly, she had looked fine before then, but I only knew her as she was at that time. The rest of her body was covered in wounds as well, but applying ointment to them had reduced the scarring significantly. Her face, though, showed no signs of recovering. A close friend of mine, a prostitute, said she thought it might be a psychological thing, but regardless, I continued applying the ointment to Morgana's face. Hey, come on, don't turn away from me. I know you can hear me. I brought ointment, so let me put it on you. It's a waste of time. You don't know that. Your arms look much better than before. It won't be long before your face starts healing too. The ointment isn't free. You're wasting your money. It's my money and I can use it however I please. So just shut up and let me do this. You're a very obnoxious man, you know. What was that? You want me to rub it in real hard, huh? Fine. With a forlorn graveyard as their backdrop, a young man applied salve to a girl's raw exposed flesh.
I know that this is not fair. I know this is not a fair thing to say and that Kel deserves so much better. But the way he's talking right now and being all jokey and shit like that, and the voice you've given him, he sounds like Kel.
I didn't know what voice to give him, so you got aggressive Scots, which just so happens to be the voice I gave Kel.
And it's just funny.
There's only so much I can do with my voice, okay?
It's fine. I've given the swordsman and Michael a very similar voice, so
Yeah.
they weren't as similar when we first started. But then my T dose went up and my voice dropped even more, and there wasn't as much of a difference.
Yeah.
He do the sippy.
Sippy. It was quite possibly the least romantic sight in the world. I would have at the very least preferred a somewhat more pleasant location. As the thought fluttered through my mind, I let out a defeated laugh, and I could soon feel her glaring at me. Morgana could be a bit standoffish, but honestly I didn't mind. For her, this was actually quite sociable, in fact. When I first met her, she didn't act her age at all, but now she was starting to show signs of the 12-year-old girl hidden inside. 3 years prior, when I met Morgana, she had been the victim of unspeakable abuse at the hands of the Lord. I didn't know why he had done those things to her, and I didn't ask either, because I knew doing so would only reopen old wounds. All I knew was that the Lord was so far gone as a human being as to brutally torture a 9-year-old girl. At the time, the only thing that ever seemed to come out of her mouth was the word of God. Everything she said or did was ostensibly for the benefit of others, but it felt to me more like she was acting out of some sort of sense of duty rather than genuine concern. Honourable, but ultimately hollow. I much preferred this Morgana, even if she could be a bit jaded. What are you hoping to get out of repairing my face? I'm not trying to get anything, I just want you to heal up. And here I thought you were going to try and make me work at the brothel. How many times do I have to tell you I'm not going to make you be a prostitute? What other reason could you have for wanting my face to get better? Because I want to see it. Isn't that enough?
And then another.
Just so we're clear, that wasn't me hitting on you, okay?
It was.
It was. The thought never occurred to me. She fell quiet, sitting there motionless as I rubbed ointment into her face. Her skin beneath my thumb was rough and unpleasant to the touch, and honestly rather stomach-turning. It was hard to imagine her face would ever heal. What I'd said about wanting to see her face was true, but what I wanted more than anything was for her to be able to live a relatively normal life. I hope you're prepared to be let down if I ever do heal. That possibility is just part of the fun. You have as much tact as a worm. No tact and bad taste. I'm a real winner. It's a wonder no one throttles you in your sleep. Being a guy, of course, I would have been pleased if she turned out pretty with her face healed, but her life was guaranteed to be easier than now, no matter what she looked like. That was what really mattered ultimately. I could only imagine how hard it was to have your life turned completely upside down at the age of 9. A large portion of us in the slums had our share of misfortune, but hardly any of them stacked up to what Morgana had to bear. She had no parents. When I asked about her mother, she'd gotten cagey with me, so I assumed she'd been sold off. When I'd asked about her father, though, she just pointed up at the sky, which I took to mean he was dead. A young girl, no family, sent off all on her own to some strange land, somewhere along the line ending up in the Lord's cruel grasp. Misfortune felt like an understatement, if anything. That said, it wasn't just out of pity that I gave Morgana so much of my attention. The other reason, though, well, she'd probably go running if I told her. Hell, I wanted to hit myself over the head. I'll still be your friend, even if you turn out to be the ugliest girl in the city. You should be grateful. How is it you haven't managed to chase off everyone in your life yet? I act like a decent guy around other people. Do my best to fit in. Then why are you such a dolt around me? Just doing my best to fit in. So you're saying this is my fault? Everyone could use a thorn or two. Makes them more exciting. You especially. You can't help yourself, can you?
I'm gonna do it every time the dots show up.
Every time the dots show up. Okay, that should be everything. Does it sting anywhere? Not particularly, no. Alright. Oh, so I'll finish up here and get back to Maria soon. Unless you'd rather I drag you there. Why? Seriously? It's your damn birthday, that's why. And? What do you think, dimwit? She wants to celebrate.
And then another.
Get back there soon, okay? I'm planning to drop by too. Okay. Okay. She gave a sheepish nod, which was honestly kind of cute, but of course I couldn't say that. So I shrugged my shoulders, feigning exasperation, and then turned to leave. Once I might have offered to accompany her back to the brothel, but Morgana never seemed keen on the idea of walking anywhere with me. Maybe she was afraid of grown men after what had happened to her at the Lord's Manor. Or maybe she just didn't want me to be seen with someone who looked like her.
To clarify real quick, when I talk about the fact that he's clearly hitting on her and shit like that, it's not me endorsing it. I just want to make that clear. I do not endorse it. It's just obviously what's happening.
Yes.
I do not ship them at all.
What?
I do not ship them at all.
No. So, hey, I thought you were leaving. One day I'll show you the world. I won't get my hopes up. Get your hopes up, damn it.
The only thing I ship Morgana with is some good fucking therapy.
Yeah. Some good fucking therapy. I said with a soft chuckle, and then I took my leave. I had every intention of making good on that promise, and I had more than enough reason to believe I could. 3 years back there was a slave revolt at the Lord's Manor. That's not quite accurate though, because while I was partly responsible for inciting the riot, I wasn't actually a slave. The local lord was spoken of, in whispers, as the second coming of the great tyrant of old. The people were constantly grumbling about how he seemed to treat the land like his own personal playground, exploiting everything and everyone on it for his own amusement. When enough stress and resentment builds up in a contained space, all it takes is a little shove from the outside to burst. And that was our plan. Me and a number of other dissatisfied citizens gathered together to pop that bubble and give the Lord a taste of how we felt about him. With the help of a slave trader, I infiltrated the Lord's Manor. I'd known slaves weren't treated well, but seeing it for myself, I thought most of these people would have been happier having been born as a dog or a cat and owned by someone who actually had a heart. It was revolting. A flagrant injustice. Broadly speaking, there are two types of people who see injustice in the world. The first are those who have everything, who sit unchallenged at the top of the world, looking down on the less fortunate with pity. The second are those with nothing, who wish to overthrow the entire system keeping them down. It should come as no surprise that I fell in the second camp. Once I was inside, I went around the manor, telling all the slaves about our plan. Most of them had long since lost the will to fight, but with enough assurance there were people on the outside ready and waiting to help. Glimmers of hope started returning to their eyes. Finding out they weren't alone, that they weren't helpless anymore, had an incredible effect on their morale. And once the slaves were convinced, the revolt began. It ended up being much larger in scale than I had imagined, and many lost their lives in the process, but the majority of them managed to escape. Naturally, the slaves couldn't stay in the city, so I directed them to people waiting outside who would take them to another city or a neighbouring country. I had neither the money nor the power to guarantee them a good life on the outside, but that hardly mattered to them. Everyone was sure that wherever they ended up would be better than staying, and I prayed that would be the case. It was during the revolt that I saved Morgana. I would have sent her off somewhere else like I had the other slaves, but she was in so dire a condition when I found her that she could hardly even move on her own. She had been sapped of all her willpower. So I brought her to the brothel where a friend of mine worked and asked her to take Morgana in. My companions and I revelled in the revolt's success. It wasn't enough of an accomplishment to have any real political implications, but we still felt like heroes. Drunk on victory, we started talking about going bigger, starting a full-on revolution. Once the elation passed though, we realised there wasn't much more we could do. Even if we did manage to start a large enough uprising to kill the Lord, we were only peasants. Not only did we not know the first thing about ruling, the other counts would never acknowledge our authority anyways. We'd pretend to be in control until the next in line showed up, and that would be the end of that. So we just ended up sitting on our thumbs, no way to do anything about our discontent. Skip forward to about a month before Morgana's birthday. One day a middle-aged woman approached me. I had never met her before, but she had wavy hair that reminded me a great deal of my own. Looking me straight in the eye, the woman said, "I was once a maidservant for the Barnier estate. They've done their best to keep it a secret. I had a child with the previous lord, and that child is you." The revelation came completely out of the blue. According to her, I had royal blood, and if we could convince the lord of that, I would become royalty. Furthermore, she, as my alleged mother, could return to her old life at the manor. The woman urged me to take action, to meet the lord, reveal my lineage, and reclaim my rightful place at the Barnier house. I would no longer be a poor peasant living in the slums. I would have a comfortable life. I obviously wasn't going to agree on the spot. Her story was so blatantly dubious that I needed some time to think on it. If she was telling the truth though, it could transform her revolution from a dream into a reality. We wouldn't be restricted into inciting inconsequential uprisings. I could seize power legitimately and make some actual change. So I asked the woman to give me some time to consider. Anybody. It can be Maria if you want.
Oh, okay.
It's one of
Have you decided what you're going to give her?
That was the very first thing I heard when I stepped through the back door of the brothel. Ah, look at me go.
Sorry, I was zoned out.
Maria,
My brain was
you
just...
were just Axel F.
Yeah, I zoned out. I missed everything that happened since I spoke last, so...
Wow.
My brain was just Axel Effin with Peter Griffin in the background.
Mm-hmm. Maria, a short blonde-haired prostitute and a good friend of mine, flashed me a devilish smirk. I bought a necklace, as per your suggestion. Girls appreciate that sort of thing, don't they?
Most do. Me, I've got a taste for knives and other such pointy things. I doubt she has much interest in those, though.
Sometimes I wonder if you're actually a girl. Anyone could see that Maria and I were close, but our relationship was strictly platonic. Of course, given our line of work, it was unavoidable that people thought otherwise. And honestly, it irritated me every time someone suggested we were anything more than friends. People have this annoying, short-sighted tendency to assume that just because a guy and a girl are friendly, they must be intimate. It didn't matter that she was a girl. I only thought of her as a friend, and as best I could tell, that's all she thought of me as well. Maria and I first met when we were children. Even at that age, she was already a prostitute, myself a petty thief. We were both incredibly lucky to have survived to adulthood with only ourselves to watch in each other's backs. It's possible the only reason either of us maintained the willpower to survive this long was because we had each other to bitch about life to when things got bad.
So, is today the day? Are you finally going to tell her how you feel?
Excuse me? Tell her about how I what?
Oh, don't be coy. You know exactly what, and it's about time you manned up and told her. I think you've got a better chance than you think.
Do I need to remind you how old she is?
12 as of today. Practically an adult. I was knee-deep in dick at that age.
You're comparing her to you?
The longer you hold off saying something, the more difficult it becomes. Break a leg. Party's gonna be in the back, so there won't be any customers around to interfere.
Alright. I chewed over what Maria had said as I watched her disappear down the brothel corridor.
I'm not answering the question, so you can answer the question. I'm doing the not it. So, Bucket zoned out. What?
Is the what aimed at Maria being knee-deep in dick at 12 years old? Unfortunately, that was just something that happened in the olden days.
Yeah, this is the year 1000, so, you know, people were not given their entire childhoods.
Yeah.
I think she was a prostitute starting at 10, actually, canonically, I think.
I think so. I think she mentioned that earlier. But yeah, she, unfortunately, was she did not have the good childhoods.
Oh, you're bringing the chat closer.
I'm bringing the chat up there so I can see it.
I was like, what are you doing? Oh.
Bringing the chat where I can
I've
see
once
it.
again got stuck in Maria voice.
Yes. I like your Maria voice.
Aww. Aren't you sweet?
You were eating your chips. That's fair.
I'm eating my sunflower
In front of
seeds.
your in front of your chip salad. She wasn't wrong. She wasn't overanalyzing. I did indeed have special feelings for Morgana.
Squizzy.
Women seem to have this strange, somewhat terrifying ability to read people's minds, and Maria was a prime example of that. I never once so much as suggested to anyone I might think of Morgana, anything of Morgana, but Maria somehow managed to pick up on it almost immediately. Fortunately, she didn't seem particularly bothered by the fact. Though if anyone else were to find out, I could only imagine the looks I would get. I mean, Morgana was 12 and I was 22. Holy shit.
Yeah. That's why I was like, as much as I make comments that he's clearly hitting on her, it's because I'm stating a fact and not because I ship it, because...
Jeez.
Because... and this is also why the chapter has the pedophilia tag.
Yeah.
I added it because of this.
That wasn't normal.
Did you read the line or just
I
G's
did.
at it?
I know I read it and then went G's at the end.
Okay.
I've never felt this way about anyone else that young either. Any other girl Morgana's age just looked like another kid to me. So why was she any different? Yes, 22.
You know, basically double her age.
Fuck's sake. She was covered in scars, and every other time we met, she would tell me to go to hell. And she refused to walk anywhere with me, and no matter how much ice I broke, I could never seem to get all the way through.
Yeah.
That's entirely fair, Bucket. Yet, still, the world felt like it was just a little bit better a place when I was with her. It made me want to see her smile, no matter how grotesque her face is. Leave her face alone. How would I even go about saying it, assuming I actually did? Even if your face still isn't healed in 4 years, I'll take you as my lifetime partner, Morgana. God, no, that's terrible. There has to be a better way to put it. Now I was getting stressed out, and it was all thanks to Maria. This was supposed to be a day of celebration, not of fretting over stupid personal matters. Not long after I arrived at the brothel and made my way up to the back room, Maria and a handful of other unoccupied girls showed up. Morgana, who was supposed to be the guest of honour, was even more reticent than usual. The prostitutes chatted amongst themselves about work in unabashedly graphic detail, trading info on which customers were good and which customers were bad. All the while, Morgana looking incredibly uncomfortable. You guys think you could maybe change the subject?
Like we have anything else to talk about.
Making the birthday girl want to hide in a corner defeats the whole purpose, don't you think?
Oh no, don't mind me. I don't have anything I want to talk about.
Is that was more... yeah.
Oh. Sorry, read it again as Morgana.
Oh no, don't mind me. I don't have anything I want to talk about. Morgana said in almost a whisper, her head down-turned. At least eat something then. The cookies are barely sweetened and dry as rocks, but they're edible.
Jacopo, you little bitch. You've got some stones to shit-talk my cookies to my face.
Stop it, Maria. Stop throwing things at me. The other girls cackled as Maria and I bickered. Hoping it might have elicited a reaction from Morgana as well, I snuck a glance over at her, but she remained expressionless. Are you okay?
I got a spoiled seed.
Oh no, not a spoiled seed.
Mm-hmm.
I can get you non-spoiled seed.
Non-spoiled seed.
Non-spoiled seed. Surprise.
Tasty.
Tasty.
You are right about one thing though. This is Morgana's day. So let's change the subject.
Maria said with a little laugh, having hurled everything within arm's reach at me. Like I said, I don't have anything to talk about.
Sure you do. You just have to look a little harder. I'm not saying you have to reminisce for us. It can be anything. Let's see. Here's an idea. Are there any guys you've got your eyes on?
I spewed my tea all over the table. There is. And then I started choking. What? Seriously? Holy shit, not this year.
Mm-hmm. What? Seriously? Holy shit. Who is it? Tell me. Who's the lucky guy?
God. Everyone fell silent. Maria gave me a sympathetic look and I knew exactly what she wanted to say.
Sorry, kid. You ain't got nothing on God.
Asshole.
1 second. Sorry, the fucking seed got caught on my lip.
Okay, I think this is me anyway. If you're gonna dream big, right? Yeah, I get where you're coming from, pining after the all-powerful, all-knowing God. I'm with you. so confused.
Oh, okay, that's me. If you're gonna dream big, right? Yeah, I get where you're coming from, pining after the all-powerful, all-knowing God. I'm with you.
You bald-faced liar.
The grass may be a hell of a lot greener up there, but it's a bit far, don't you think? You're better off settling for the weeds down here.
Did she just imply I'm a weed? Maria looked over and gave a wide grin at the sight of me grinding my teeth, then continued.
Say, the young man over there.
Wait, stop right there. Don't say another word.
Oopsie, me and my big mouth. I almost did your job for you.
Damn it, Maria. This was not good. Like hell, I was going to let her corner me into saying it here. I stole a glance at Morgana, but her gaze was locked on her knees. I couldn't see what, if any, kind of reaction she was having. Morgana, what she was trying to say is that I have to go. What? I have to go to the bathroom. Sure. Morgana got up from her chair and left the room in silence. I imagine I was making a rather flaccid expression because as soon as Morgana was gone, Maria began cackling like a madwoman. My reply was the nearest object, courtesy of my throwing arm.
Loser! How hard is it to just say it?
It would have been easier if you hadn't cornered me like that.
Do you think I believe you would have done it without a little nudge?
I would have. Eventually.
Eventually I ain't gonna cut it. Now's the right time. Don't worry, me and the girls won't make fun of you for getting your rocks off to little girls.
That's not the reason I like her. Besides, I would wait at least 4 years before.
Doesn't mean you can't tell her now. I think it'd do her wonders, really. She's, well, you know. So I think knowing someone cares about her will lighten the load a little bit. When she comes back, give her the necklace and tell her how you feel. And if she turns you down, we can all have a good laugh about it. See, I think that's what Maria really wants. For him to get, like, let down and her be like,
Yeah. Maria and a few other girls chuckled. As uncomfortable as she was making me feel, she had a point. Regardless of whether Morgana reciprocated my feelings or not, there was a good chance that just putting them out there would help in breaking down the wall she had built in her heart. And maybe one day I would actually be able to see her smile. I'll do it. I'll tell her. It didn't matter if I came out looking like a loser. It didn't matter if Morgana wasn't interested in me that way. What mattered was that she knew someone accepted her, regardless of her appearance or the things she'd been through. And if by some chance there really was royal blood flowing through my veins, then I could make good on my promise to show all the world.
please stay quiet. That's not a nice thing to say to Spirit. Oh, me? Okay. or maybe you mean Jacopo. No, don't be sorry. I was just ripping the best. I was just Maria-ing you.
just Jacopo, shush, silence.
I mean, Bucket couldn't even be talking to Nagito because he's passed the fuck out.
Nagito's passed the fuck out. He's done.
He's got his head under his body somehow.
See? He cuddle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I could put an end to a life of poverty and abuse, replace it with one of comfort and wealth. I could buy her even better medicine, something that could actually heal her face. If I truly were royalty, I could do so much more for her. Makes it sound like I want to be some kind of fairy tale hero or something. But honestly, I wouldn't have minded that. If I was going to make her happy, to wipe away all her past misfortune, why couldn't I make it a little dramatic? It wasn't usually my style, but in this case I wouldn't have objected to a storybook ending. This, though. No, this wasn't the kind of story I was hoping for. The heavy curtains separating the guest rooms had been torn to shreds, and they were splattered with blood. A man, apparently caught without enough time to defend himself, splayed out naked on a bed, his empty eyes fixed on the ceiling. The whole area reeked of blood. All I could do was stare stupefied at the carnage. What the hell? Why? How could this happen? My dumbfounded muttering went unanswered though. The few who were still alive could no better make sense of the incomprehensible massacre than me. The sudden arbitrary upheaval of our world. The inexplicable, inescapable reality. Shortly after Morgana stepped out, I heard a woman scream from the front of the brothel. Next, a man shouting. At first I assumed it was one of the customers losing his temper over something, but the tone of the scream seemed off, somehow off for something like that. It wasn't long before the noise had escalated to alarming levels, so I dashed towards the source of the shouting. A good dozen men, bandits, or maybe thieves, they seemed more organised, had raided the brothel. They slaughtered all the customers, stripping them of any valuables, and they tied up the girls, killing any who resisted. The first thought that rose to my panicked mind was that I needed to find Morgana. I needed to get her out of here no matter what. I couldn't let her birthday turn into a tragedy. She'd already been through enough, and I had to make sure she didn't suffer any further. I had to make her life into something good. I searched and searched, but there was no sign of Morgana anywhere, until suddenly something seemed to crash into me from behind, causing me to stagger. It took a few seconds for the pain to set in, which is when I looked down to see the tip of a blade sticking out of my gut. Blood streamed along the metal surface, and there were little bits of flesh caught on the edges. I turned around just in time to see the man holding it kick me away, and before I had time to process what was happening, I hit the floor and lost consciousness. If I were a hero, I could have surely eradicated all the violent intruders in the blink of an eye, saving everyone. Protected that which I wanted to protect. Not had to lose anything. But I was a mere boy. A weak boy, helpless against a few robbers. A useless boy, unable to protect anyone. When I woke up, Maria was kneeling over me, sobbing. No sign of the tough, foul-mouthed girl I knew. Aside from her, there were two other girls, also crying, leaving only four survivors. Apparently I wasn't dead. Looking down, I saw my bare stomach wrapped in blood-soaked bandages. The brothel lay in ruins, a bloody pile of torn bedding, clothes and bodies. I made my way back to the front, and all I could do was stare stupefied at the carnage. What the hell? Why? How could this happen? My dumbfounded muttering went unanswered though. Why did they repeat that?
Wait, what?
That is the exact, from here to here is exact like what he said like 5 minutes ago. Maria stood beside me, quietly rubbing her trembling arms. Where's Morgana?
I couldn't find her.
Why not?
I'm sorry, I looked everywhere, but I couldn't find her. I'm so sorry.
I wanted to say I wasn't blaming her.
And then another.
Jesus Christ. But I couldn't find the words. If I'd had power, I could have prevented this from happening. What kind of power would I have needed, though? The physical strength to overpower the thieves? No, I needed to think bigger. If I weren't a peasant, but someone of real influence and import, no one would dare stand up to me. No petty thieves would ever even consider a raid on me, and I would have the power to punish anyone who tried. But regardless, this would have never happened at all. I was supposed to give Morgana a good life, to show her the world, to make her smile. If only I had power. Absolute, unflinching power. If I had climbed to the top of the ladder when the chance was offered to me, this all could have been avoided. If only I had asserted my place as royalty a month earlier, as the woman who claimed to be my mother had urged me to. I wanted power. The power to keep everything I cared about safe. The power to change this damned world. The power to stop those filthy thieves. The power to keep her by my side. I wanted power.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I was skipping through. I was like, I need to see who
I was
this
trying to
is.
see what it was, yeah.
I heard about the attack on the brothel and that you were hurt. I'm so glad to see you're well. About a week after the raid, I went to see the woman who professed herself as my mother. As you would expect of someone who had served at the old Lord's Manor, she was very, very elegant and graceful. The shack where she stayed, though, was a shabby, drab place with bare wattle and dull walls. You were concerned about my safety? Of course. Show me a mother who's not always concerned about her child's safety, says the woman I'd never seen until a month ago. Physical distance has no bearing on a mother's love, she said with a soft smile. Age had clearly begun taking its toll on her, but I could see hints of former beauty. If you had gone to speak with the Lord and revealed your lineage when I first came to see you, you would have never been in that kind of danger.
Oh, fuck you.
Boo. There is still time. Go to the Lord's manor. Show him. I'm not really your son, am I? The woman fell silent for a moment, observing me. I could see the resemblance between us, yes, and I had no memories of my mother. It would be nice if she were to show back up someday, but it just wasn't likely. This whole thing felt extremely contrived. Discussions will progress much smoother if we both know what the other wants out of this arrangement. Start by telling me who you really are. Were you actually a maidservant for the previous lord? She gave a nod and then walked over to a grimy shelf and retrieved a ring that looked very much out of place. It was made of gold, engraved with an elaborate insignia. Look at this. It's the Barnier family crest. The previous lord gave me the ring as a gift, and I've kept it ever since, even after our relationship was discovered and I was chased out. I didn't sell it because I knew I was with child. They will have no choice but to acknowledge you as a legitimate heir if you show them this ring. Why did you wait so long to come find me then? I was afraid they might kill you if I brought you in as a baby. Why were we separated? Misfortune. One day bandits came and kidnapped you. Presumably they were hired by the Barnier estate because they didn't want your existence coming to light. I consider it a miracle you're still alive. I can only imagine the stern look on my face as I listened to the woman speak. Part of me did indeed want to take everything she said as true. Wanted to believe I was someone important. But I couldn't convince myself I had anything other than a commoner's blood running through my veins. It would appear you've done your research. I don't have any other family, to the best of my knowledge, which does indeed make me a good candidate for you to step in and claim your stake on. If I were to guess, your child with the Lord has either passed away or never existed at all. It's probably true that you worked at the Barnier's mansion, and it's probably true that you had relations with the former Lord. You were chased out and now you live in poverty. You want to go back to your former, more comfortable life, and while you're at it, take vengeance on the current Lord. But, being a woman, you have no means to accomplish that yourself. So you came up with the idea of using a fake son. If your child was still alive, he would be right about my age, wouldn't he? And we look similar enough for you to convincingly claim we're related. But the biggest reason you chose me is because I've made something of a name for myself. Because I was one of the people involved in inciting the revolt 3 years ago. The perfect choice to spearhead a revolution. How dramatic. The man who set the Lord's slaves free was secretly his family. The people would eat it right up. So, how far off am I? For some time the woman sat in silence. Eventually she broke it, not by yelling in anger or desperately trying to refute me, but with a smile. I knew very well what lurked beneath that smile too. Scorn. You're sharp for a filthy peasant. It would seem I chose wisely. I was right. She was a manipulative, conniving shyster. But that I could work with. That fits so much better. I wasn't royalty. I wasn't a hero. I was a filthy peasant. I'm in. The first thing I did after agreeing to work with the woman was not to approach the Lord, but to reveal my false lineage to my accomplices. They all thought I was joking until I showed them the ring. Then their dreams of revolution started seeming far more realistic. Maria was the one exception. Not only did she not believe me, she tried to stop me from going through with the scheme.
What? Oh. Sorry, I was busy shifting around in my chair, and my brain was once again doing the thing, and...
You are struggling.
I am struggling. Haven't you had enough danger for one life? Come on, forget about all this revolution stuff. We can build up a new brothel and just stay low for the rest of our days. Does it really sound so bad? You know, you're the only friend I've got left, Jacopo. She said somewhat desperately. Oh. I stole your line. What you gonna do?
You stole
What
my
you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Sob.
I'm gonna eat the mints that are shaped like tiny cars.
I've been eating the mints shaped like tiny cars and I need to stop it because I'm guzzling them down.
And we can't even get any more.
I know. They are tasty.
Should have gone by their booth several times. Been like, this is me with a mustache. I'm a different person. I want more mints.
Should have put on the sunglasses we won from the other one, from one of the other stalls. Wrapped
Like,
one of the flags round her head. Painted the nails with the nail polish you on. I sympathise with her concerns, but I didn't want to let this chance to gain some real power slip away. I was done having things taken from me.
If we'd made it in on Sunday, we probably could have gone by the booth stall again.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even think of that.
Damn.
It's fine, we slept through Sunday anyway.
We did.
You've got, what, like 3 minutes left?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
They're not gonna last the night.
They are not, no. They are tasty mints. I like mints.
Honestly, the Hertz booth was great. They had the tiny mints shaped like cars, free water bottles that, are reusable that I'm using right now. Amazing.
Yes. Amazing.
They were there trying to hire people for jobs, and I'm like, do you happen to have a location that's near boop? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh, shame.
Shit. Otherwise I would have applied. Hear me, my fellow citizens, who live in suffering at the hands of your supposed lord. With me flows the blood of the previous lord. I am the rightful heir. Behold the Barnier's golden ring, proof that I am of noble birth. Victims of this terrible tyrant, the time has come to start anew, and I shall be the one to lead you down that path. The poor, the hungry, the deprived, all of you stand with me.
You are such a bad influence. I need to stop.
I'm sorry. My call to arms stoked the flames in people's hearts. When the assault on the Lord's Manor began, they were an inferno of righteous justice. No one was thinking straight. I was about the only one with something resembling a clear head amidst the chaos. If I were really a hero, then I would have rejoiced in that glorious day, that momentous turning point in the city's history. I would have been honoured to have led the charge. But this was all about one woman's avarice and desire for vengeance. This was all about one man's lamentation of his own weakness. I wasn't motivated by any desire to help these people. The Lord backed into a corner and begged for his life. I decapitated him, then held his severed head up for the people. Their cheers and shouts filled the air. As I watched them rejoice, I wondered, was this the future that awaited me? Would the people come after me next? Was my head going to be in one of their hands one day? The king and the other counts acknowledged my royalty, though it was less because I had the Barnier's ring and more because they thought that was the best way to prevent things from getting any messier. So with their approval, I formally became the Lord of the Land. I also assumed the former Lord's name because, despite his reputation with his people, it was a name people knew, and one that held far more clout than my own. And just like that, my long-time dream of power had come true. That said, simply becoming the Lord didn't mean everything had fallen neatly into place. Many of the local noble families accused me of acquiring my rank illegitimately. They waited, fangs bared, for me to slip up. They even tried to set me up on more than one occasion. I couldn't trust anyone. On top of that, if I took too long making the improvements I had promised people, they would start saying I was just as much of a tyrant as the previous Lord. There was only so much I could do at once, though, especially with my hands so full fending off the vulturous nobles. Exhaustion soon began to set in. This wasn't the world I was looking for, the one I wanted to show Morgana. It was day after draining day of betrayal, constantly having to look over my shoulder, fighting to meet unrealistic expectations. I was starting to lose sight of who I was as a person. I couldn't let anyone see me looking weak. They would see it as an opportunity to take advantage of me, to manipulate me, to eliminate me. I needed power to protect myself from those people. No! Are you okay?
I drop a sticker.
No dropping stickers.
I drop sticker.
Oh no. Attaining rank was only the first step. I needed even more power. Enough to ensure no one would ever be giving me orders, could ever play me for a fool. I turned my attention first to bolstering the economy. I provided subsidies to merchants in the city. I expanded trade routes. I made it known that people of any skin colour, even those not welcome in other territories, were welcome in my land, trying to bring some vitality to the city. The previous lord had evidently loved to throw parties, squandering away nearly all the tax money on his own entertainment. If he had left me more to work with, I would have used it to clean up and repair the slums, but for the time being, that had to remain another item on the checklist. I needed more money flowing through the city as a whole before I could make any headway on fixing up the poorer areas. Helping the people who needed it most quickly became a secondary objective. Oh no, Bucket. I would be afraid of random people sending you TikToks.
No random people send TikTok, no.
No. I had a pretty good idea of what my farmer accomplices still in the slums were saying about me. He used us. I could practically hear them whispering. Some of them even started publicly slandering me in an attempt to undermine my authority. You must check. Okay. Good luck. It wasn't long before they had convinced the people I was just another tyrant. I had hoped that they, if no one else, would have sympathised with my position. Realised that I had every intention of helping them, and that I simply didn't have the resources for it yet. But no one saw what I was doing. No one believed me, even when I tried to explain. In one case, I invited an old companion to my manor to discuss matters, but the meeting only turned into an attempt on my life. Having absolutely no one I could trust, no one I could call an ally, hit me a lot harder than I'd expected. It twisted my worldview beyond recognition. I had no need for sympathy. I couldn't show care for anyone, otherwise someone would inevitably use it against me, old friends and strangers alike.
What?
Bucket got negative 10 million aura. I am confused.
Please explain.
Bucket is also confused. In fact, those who knew me best, those who were aware of where I had come from and what I had been before, were the ones who fought the hardest to tear me down. Rules needed to be created, punishments established. I couldn't allow anyone to take this power from me. Anyone who so much as suggested I had come from the slums, anyone who dared disrespect me, had to be eliminated. All threats exterminated before they could reach me. Somewhere along the line I had lost sight of my original dream. Lost all my desire to do right by the people I cared about. Hell, I didn't have anyone to do right by anymore. Why did I need to climb to the top of the ladder? So no one could kill me. Why did I want money? So no one could mock me. Why did I want power? So no one could oppose me. 4 years passed and I found myself in a very, very distant place. Miracle blood? Sounds like a sham to me.
Who the fuck is that, Lord?
You never know. They say the sound of her first cry brought rain to the land where she was born, saving the whole village from drought. And they say her blood has the power to cure any disease. One day, a curious rumour came to my attention. The kind of whispering I usually wouldn't put much stock into. It was said that there was a witch living in a cottage by the lake. Few had ever seen her face, but they claimed she had the same voice as a girl who had supposedly performed miracles several years earlier in a faraway village. The people loved their stories of heroes and miracles, and if I could show some support for the churches, then maybe people would stop complaining that I was focusing too much on the economy. So I devised a plot to capture the witch and make use of her miracle blood. I would establish a new church and have it be run by a nun the city had been fawning over for some time. They called her the Saintess. There I would take the witch's blood and call it a miracle medicine, distributing it in exchange for tithes, which people would certainly come for in droves. And if the blood somehow did happen to have special powers, then that would make the scheme that much more effective. I'll worry about the veracity of the rumours later. Right now, all I want is for you to capture her and bring her to me. I was too busy to handle capturing the witch myself, so I went and found someone to handle it for me. He was a former slave who had several years back massacred an entire carriage of slaves, and the slave traders transporting them. Obviously not an upstanding citizen, but there was little doubt he would have any trouble apprehending a single witch. The biggest reason I chose him, though, was because he was enamoured with a nun. I honestly thought it was rather hilarious, a murderer falling in love with a nun. I had been expecting the man to object, but he agreed almost without hesitation. There was a mansion on the outskirts of the city which the previous lord had built for himself, and had gone unused since his death. It was there I decided to keep the witch, and it was there I decided to establish the church. The nun would have ample space there to provide temporary shelter to the sick and needy. I thought, with what little remained of my conscience, that I was doing the right thing. If one witch, probably an old woman at that, was all it cost to accomplish such good, then a worthy sacrifice it was. In an ideal world, it wouldn't matter young or old. A human being was an unacceptable price for anything. But this was far from an ideal world, so I decided that taking what little remained of this woman's life was the best. No, the only acceptable course of action. She would probably despise me for it, but I would gladly accept her hatred in exchange for the benefits her blood would bring the city. It's our responsibility to offer a helping hand to the sick and the poor, to pray for the abandoned souls. Morgana's words from years back popped into my head. I believed that, as aggressive and self-centered and utterly lacking in compassion as my methods may have been, I was following that mantra. I was offering a helping hand to the people who needed it in the only way I knew how. I wasn't so dense as to think she would approve of me making an old woman pay the price for my charity, though. Doing this made me no better than a thug. But everything has a price. For every extravagant feast held, a dozen people go the night without food. That's simply the way of the world. I was no god. I was no saint. I had blood on my hands. I was a villain. I knew no way to accomplish good without doing bad. After the swordsman departed, I took some time to myself. I filled a goblet with water, smelled it, and then gave a bit of it to my pet dog before gulping down the rest. Are you still out there somewhere, Morgana? What would you think of me if you saw what I had become? Several days later than originally planned, the swordsman finally arrived at the mansion. I had chosen the observation tower on the grounds for the witch's prison, and it was there I waited for him. He showed up with a burlap sack swung over his shoulder, setting it down on the ground and saying,
"There's your witch."
I could only hear muffled grunting from inside the sack, but it didn't sound like an old woman inside. The man's clothes and the bag both reeked of blood. Tell me you didn't harm her, dog. I smell blood.
You only instructed me not to kill her. Mistakes were made, limbs were lost. I cleaned up all the blood I got on me. No one suspected anything. That you were able to immediately recognize it at the smell of blood says quite a bit, Lord. You have killed before, haven't you?
Enough yapping. She is alive, yes.
Of course.
I felt a tinge of guilt for the woman, but it didn't last long. Her role in my scheme and the fate that awaited her was the same regardless of the condition she arrived in. I tossed my gaze from the man to the bag. He crouched down to untie it, revealing a young girl with one arm severed. As soon as I saw her, I knew exactly who the girl was. But why? What was she doing in the bag? Why was she the lakeside witch? What was she doing here? Why was she so pale and shaking? Why had I ordered her captured? How could I have done that? How could I have let this happen to her? Morgana. My voice was hoarse and rattling. She looked up at me, her face just as disfigured and hideous as it had been 4 years before. My mind flashed back to her birthday, to when I had considered offering to take her as my lifetime partner if her face hadn't healed in 4 years' time. Is that you? No, wrong voice. Is that you? Her question yanked me out of my memories. You remember me? Did Morgana remember me? The 3 years we had spent together. What kind of person I had been? The boy who had refused to give up putting ointment on her face? Those horribly unromantic encounters at the graveyard? Her taking shots at me taking shots at her? All that time we had shared? How could I ever forget? I did it again. I wish it would stop doing this to me. Just tell me who it is. How could I ever forget? Morgana, she remembered me. How could I ever forget all the pain and humiliation you put me through? How could I ever forget the blood sabbats you so loved to hold? What? What was she talking about? Haven't had enough, have you? Leaving scars on every inch of my body wasn't enough for you? You haven't had your fill of my blood? No, that wasn't me. I was the one who tried to heal those wounds. You're the man who bound me, cut me up, called me a witch, and then tried to kill me. I haven't forgotten you, even for a moment. No, Morgana. I was the man who rescued you from him. I don't care how much my father preaches forgiveness. That's the one thing you'll never get from me. I despise you with all my soul. I revile you with every fibre of my being. For every scar you gave me, I give you a lifetime of hatred. No, Morgana. I was not oh, no. I'm struggling.
I was not aware you knew the witch, Lord.
His voice made my blood run cold. I didn't just know her. Morgana was... This man, the Lord, he destroyed me, mind and body. No, that was another man. He was already dead, I had just taken his place. I had come from the slums, I had been part of the slaves' revolt. I knew I had to tell her. He ruined my life. But between the sting of Morgana's accusations and my need to protect my current position, I couldn't muster the strength to do it. If someone were to find out I wasn't legitimate royalty, that I had come from the slums, then everything I had worked so hard to build up for who though, would come crumbling down. Do I really think that it hasn't already? All I had left was my power, my rank. Is that actually what I wanted? I couldn't afford to lose that too. When did I first start straying from the path? Yes, I know her. Or I knew her years ago.
I see. What do you want me to do then, Lord? You look sick.
This doesn't change anything. We lock the witch up and proceed as planned.
Honk.
Honk.
I've got a perfectly good G2 pen here and it won't fucking write. Like, it's full of ink. And I've been scribbling it for 5 fucking minutes and it's not writing. Make me so sad. Why? Teach me why.
Teach you why.
I'm going through the pens in my drawer and seeing which ones write and which ones don't.
Exactly.
Also, does anyone here remember when G2 pens were the shit? Because I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I'm trying to get the pen to work, but it's just...
I think I'm just going to have to throw that one out.
Possibly.
Because I've been trying. I've tried with different sheets of paper. I've tried wetting the tip a little bit to see if maybe it was just clogged, but...
I'm sorry.
In the bowl.
In the bowl. Why? Why couldn't I tell her the truth? How? How could I keep her in prison? What? What had I wanted power for in the first place? Would anyone ever believe me if I said this wasn't how I wanted things to turn out?
Would you like this? It's a little bit ripped, but it's just on the clear part. You can put on your computer if you want.
I can put on computer. Nope. Do you not remember the hype song? Would anyone ever believe me?
I just remember, like, you weren't cool if you didn't have a G2 pen, and I had to have them. And then I finally got one, and I'm like, oh my god, these write fucking great. I fucking love these.
Mm-hmm.
And then, there came the part where I realized they smudge really bad.
Right.
And then I was like, I hate these. Why did I buy so many?
Oh. Before me floats a man, twisted and writhing in pain. Although whether what I'm looking at could be said to resemble a human is a difficult question. It's a hazy, indistinct shape, on the precipice of being consumed by darkness everlasting. I know very well what I'm looking at. The moments before a man's soul shatters. Is this you?
I don't know. Sorry, can you go back to the previous text? Yes, okay. Before me floats a man, twisted and writhing in pain. Although whether I'm looking at could be said to resemble a human is a difficult question. It's a hazy, indistinct shape on the precipice of being consumed by darkness everlasting. I know what I'm looking at. The moments before a man's soul shatters. Did I do the same thing to him that Morgana did to me? Was it I who summoned him into the darkness, who laid his past bare? Who forced him to relive those events? To experience once more everything that he'd felt and everything that he thought? Who put him through that despair a second time? I can only imagine how he must have felt, causing someone he once cared for so much pain. The things he did are abhorrent, more deserving of reproach, and it would have undoubtedly been easier for him to simply vanish into the eternal abyss. But I can't allow that to happen. He still has work to do. His story is essential. I'm almost certain that Morgana still doesn't know who he really is. He needs to face her, to reveal the truth with his own words. That's the only way we're going to get her to have a change of heart. That's not all he has to say either. So I must bring him back, pull him out of the darkness. I grabbed the man by the arm and began scouring the blackness for an exit. After some time, seeing a speck glisten high above, so I make my way upwards, back into the harsh light of the real world.
Are we going to continue?
What do you guys think? We could continue. Let's see. I'm looking. I think we have another hour and maybe a half of this door. Maybe less. Roughly. How do you feel?
I think I'm reaching my limit.
You're reaching your limit? Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'll come back and sit down then. I was gonna go get something because I found myself hyper-focused on cleaning up my desk. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and stop here.
Yeah, have mouse so you can change things.
Yes.
Also, remember to save Sava game.
I can't believe you didn't stop in the game. Save.
Savvy.
Anyway, so hello, we here. How we feel? Do we think that Jacobo is even remotely forgivable? Do we think he is justified? I have opinions, but I want to hear other people's opinions too.
I was pissed on.
I don't think that that's an opinion. No. Yeah, exactly. He's not justified. I don't think he's justified at all.
No.
I don't find him or Yukimasa particularly forgivable. Mel, yes. I would say that... Oh. I would say that I find Mel redeemable. Because, in the end, he did a shitty thing.
Yeah.
But his family was threatened.
Yeah.
And so he kind of did what he had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because his family was threatened. If somebody threatened you, I would do something horrible if it meant protecting you.
Yeah.
So I can understand that a bit more. Between Jacopo and Yukimasa, I think that the both of them are pretty unforgivable.
Mm-hmm.
Yukimasa tries to fight his demons sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think if he tried harder to fight his demons, it would be easier to forgive him.
Yeah.
Jacopo, the minute he shouldn't have done the whole thing with like, well, let's kidnap the witch and sell her blood and use that to bolster the economy, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not that I'm gonna say you should be cruel to animals, but he could have just as easily have like a chicken or something.
Yeah.
And bled an animal. Not that he should have done either.
No.
But at least it wouldn't be a human life, you know?
Yeah.
I know Pete is gonna come at me now. They're gonna be like, first of all, you go and you have the all you can eat beefs like once a week. You go and you have the pork every day. You want them to bleed the chicken. It's like, listen, no one's saying they should bleed Daryl, but it would have been a better alternative than kidnapping some poor person.
Yeah.
And doing what they did to Morgana. But I would say he would be almost forgivable if, when he saw it was her, he let her go.
Yeah.
It would be pretty awful that her arm got taken, but it wouldn't have been his fault. It would have been Yukimasa's.
Yeah.
And I would say at that point he could be forgiven. But the fact that he kept her and he did what he did to her, even after having the realization of, no, this is wrong, makes it unforgivable.
Yeah.
Because he knew what he was doing was wrong. He knew he should stop, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the difference between him and Yukimasa, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yukimasa, when he hits the realization that what he's doing is wrong, he tries to stop for a while.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't just sit there and keep killing people when he hits the, the post-nut clarity of, holy shit, this is wrong. Right?
Yeah.
He actively tries to stop. But the Lord, Jacopo, he hits that point where he realizes what he's doing is wrong and he keeps doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's forgivable.
No.
I don't think Yukimasa is either, but I would say, like, Yukimasa's like 2% better than him. And only because when he realizes what he's doing is wrong, he tries to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Not because, Yukimasa is just better in any way. He's not. They're both pretty much as bad as each other, killing a bunch of people to protect their image and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't stand by either of them. I think Mel is forgivable. I don't think Mel deserved the crap he got behind door one. Because he was trying to save his family. And that's important.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to keep your family safe. Like, who here can honestly say that if somebody came for somebody in your family that you're close to, or your best friend, or your lover, and they said, I'm going to kill this person unless you do something awful, like, who here could really say that they'd be like, I'm not going to do the awful thing because that's wrong? Mm-hmm. Like I said, I would do the awful. I would feel like shit. And I would feel like I could never tell Spirit about it. Because I wouldn't want him to realize that his life is borrowed at the expense of someone else's.
Yeah.
But I couldn't just sit idly by and let something bad happen to him.
Mm-hmm.
So, Yeah, exactly. Leave the chicken alone, but the chicken is better than Morgana.
Yeah.
Like... I mean, it's just, it's heavy stuff, and there isn't a clear right or wrong. Like, the only right solution would be to not get in the mess to begin with.
Yeah.
But once you're in it, there's not really a clear right or wrong, because you stop in the middle, and you're gonna have a bunch of innocent people get hurt.
Wait until I yawn to piss on it. Wait until my mouth is open.
But, because there's a lot of innocent people that are going to get hurt if people riot. Because when people riot, people die. And so there's going to be a lot of innocent people who get caught up in it too. But by continuing going, you're also hurting people. Because you're hurting Morgana. She's getting sick. People get poisoned off of her blood because she's sick. And a bunch of people die.
Yeah.
So there is no great way forward.
No.
honestly, the best way forward would probably be to try and hush her up with some hush money or something,
Yeah.
so that there's no revolt, and then just go to giving people entirely wine as the medicine.
Yeah.
And not supplement it with blood at all. That would probably be the best way forward, as long as nobody found out about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's tough. It's tough. So
tough.
I think we have 2 more streams of this before we finish this game. It might be 1. It's just gonna depend, because we did 1.5 streams worth of content today. So it will depend on how we shake things up for the next couple of Wednesdays, on how long this is gonna take.
Yeah.
But we still got the rest of this door, and then there's something after this door. Because, we still have to figure out who the white-haired girl is.
Yes.
So, there's all kinds of stuff to still figure out. We gotta save Morgana, figure out who the white-haired girl is, and find out what's going on with Giselle. Sun is posting all of our links. Would you like to talk about a little bit about our links? Because, I've done the heavy philosophical lifting. You can talk about the links.
We have the Discord server. That is where you can find us mostly. We are very easy to reach if you message us through Discord. In the server, please don't randomly DM us. Then there is the BlueSky. That's where I post the Go Live stuff. We have Throne, where you can help support us by helping put money towards things, like down in the bottom corner. When it swaps out with Poggles, we have a PlayStation 4 controller there. So there is that. There is Poggles, which is an energy drink company. We have an affiliate link with them, where you can get 10% off if you use the code KrypticSpirits when you buy it. They have drinks for energy, drinks for sleep, things like that. And then there's Wash Them Hands, which is me, my channel. I draw on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Yesterday I drew Cryptic in a box, which was fun.
If I had the image on my computer, I would actually show people. Have you set it as a sticker yet in the Discord?
No, because I need to resize it.
Okay. He's going to resize it. It'll be a sticker in the Discord and a sticker on the Twitch channel soon. He just has to go through and resize the image.
Yes. We will be back tomorrow with Resident Evil 6. We will be finishing off Jake and Sherry's route.
And then, possibly starting Ada's.
Yes, possibly starting Ada's. Which is sad because,
If you couldn't hear the disappointment in my voice, I promise you it was there.
Sadly, that means we cannot do more co-op because Ada's route is a solo route.
The co-op was so much fun,
The co-op was fun. We have Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc on Friday. We will be doing the trial for Chapter 5. And then Saturday we will be continuing Tell Me Why, which is an LGBT...
Tell me why!
adventure game.
And on Saturdays, remember that if, you're coming in and you're like, this is a little too serious, I want to do some, multiplayer stuff, let's do some Jackbox. You can redeem those kind of things for Jackbox.
Yes.
And for, Dead by Daylight or whatever. You guys can redeem different games if you want to see something different. Because, we're not really doing the game that we're playing on Saturday chapter by chapter. We're just doing it as we feel like it because it's Saturday and we get to do whatever we want.
Yes.
So if people want to interrupt and do something else, as long as we've hit a saving point recently, we can do that.
Yes.
Let's see. I don't think we really have much else to talk about. It's Gizmo Day, so wish your local Gizmo a happy Gizmo Day.
Yes. Happy Gizmo Day. Are you looking for someone to raid?
Yeah, the raid button is acting differently.
Ew, no.
We've got Lady Chaos VTuber with, let's see, Borderlands. Ooh, Borderlands.
Oh,
We'll do that. Anyway, keep it creepy.
Keep it weird.
And most importantly, stay cool. We are. Bye.
Bye.